All right. Oh, give me that.
The opportunity of a lifetime is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. Plexus Worldwide wants you to know that the results you have heard or hear about may vary from person to person, and we do not claim to cure, treat, diagnose, or prevent any disease.
All right. Now that is out of the way, we can get started. And how about you? Well, I'll start.
You start.
Okay. So real quick, and we always find this a great practice to be sharing our story as it changes, and it, because every month something is different in our life. Like right now, I am 14 weeks pregnant, and I feel really good. Besides kind of feeling like I'm not fitting in my clothes anymore.
She looks really good too.
But it's been the best pregnancy for sure. This is my sixth. I can't count anymore. That's changed. No, sixth pregnancy. So it's definitely been the best one yet. And I started taking Plexus exactly a year ago. And it was all stemming from Matt and his 10 years of autoimmune disease that was not going away. And so my friend Mary June said, "You've got to try Plexus." And I was like, yeah, whatever. But I finally decided to try it. And Matt never said, "No, you can't do it," but he didn't really think it would do anything. So, and if you've been really, really sick, you understand that. Like, people tell you to try everything. And we really had tried a ton of things. So after trying that for really only a couple weeks, I started noticing things like I was sleeping better and had some energy that I didn't really know was missing, but apparently it had gone AWOL for a long time. And so Matt finally started it about 2 or 3 weeks after I had started it. And
yeah, I experienced benefits immediately almost. Obviously, it's been a little bit less than a year for me, and I didn't experience all the benefits that I enjoy today immediately. It's been a progress month by month, but I knew things were improving. I knew I was feeling better. The things that I had struggled with before were decreasing, or the struggles were not as consistent. Things that I would eat that would trigger severe responses weren't triggering those severe responses. So I noticed that things were changing for the better. And 3 months into taking the triplex regularly, I had a follow-up appointment with 2 specialists at Jefferson University Hospital, which is where I've been going for a few years now. And these doctors have performed surgery on me probably 6 or 8 times. So they know what they're looking at when I'm there. And both of them had just stunned responses saying, "We've never seen you look this good. What are you doing differently?" And so now I'm following doctor's orders because they said, "Don't stop whatever you're doing. Don't stop doing it." So I have to keep taking Plexus because my doctor told me to. But we will absolutely be customers for life. We love the products, and not only for the benefits that we've experienced, but also for prevention. The old saying is that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And if we can help people enjoy good health without ever having to go through what we went through, what an opportunity to bless people in that way, and to see them really enjoy kind of the fullness of health that God has given us the ability to enjoy. Unfortunately, our experience so far has been people don't realize how sick they really are. And the normal in our society has become taking 2, 3, 4 or more prescription medications daily.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the normal for a lot of people. They don't understand that your blood pressure can be normal. Like, there is a normal, and normal blood pressure doesn't mean taking medicine to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Cholesterol levels, diabetes, so many things.
Even pain. I mean, pain is a
discomfort.
It's something that your body is telling you something's wrong,
Right.
help. And it's something that shouldn't be suppressed. It's something that needs to be dealt with from the root. And it's, I've been gardening all day long, and I'm sure you've all heard the analogy, but it's, especially when I'm lazy, I'm just going to kind of pluck off the top so it looks good for a little bit, but then that root just grows deeper, and then it's even harder to get rid of that weed, because if I just would deal with it when I knew there was a problem, then it would not come back, and so it's the same way with health, and you have to get to the root cause. And that's why Plexus works for so many people. And everyone's like, well, how does one thing work for this and this and this and this and this? And it's because if you research gut health and how it's connected to a myriad of diseases, inflammation, gut health, and blood sugar. Those three things are linked to every disease. So either all three things or one of those things. So Plexus is addressing all three of those things, and that is why it's working for lots of different people. And so
so we would never say Plexus is not treating any of those diseases.
Right.
It's not curing. What it is building health. And when your body is healthy from the inside out, it's able to fight for itself. It's able to be healthy and well.
Yeah.
And those chronic diseases will, they should, in a healthy environment, decrease.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And I think a huge thing that we want to encourage you, whether you're already taking Plexus or you haven't started yet, is you have to give it time. Plexus is not a quick fix. If you're in for a quick fix, this is not for you. You'll have to go find another supplement regime, because Plexus is something that, because it's getting to the root, it takes time. And depending on how sick you've been, we were told at the beginning, and this was such a great help for us mentally, that depending on how long you've been sick, so if I'll use Matt as for instance, for 10 years, he's had this diagnosis, but 1 month for every year you've been sick, and then add 2 more months. And don't give up before then. Don't give up. And it's been pretty much exactly that amount of time for him. So for him, that would have been a year. And for other people, it might be longer, and that's okay. But the cool part is that you're not necessarily going to see, if you're like, okay, I need this big thing to be taken care of, and in 1 month that big thing isn't done yet. A lot of people just quit because they don't see like the tiny things that are being done, and we can't even see what's going on inside. And sometimes there is so much healing going on deep, deep, deep inside that you can't feel, you can't see, but it's happening. And when that happens, other things eventually start to just come alive, and like, wait a minute, I don't have to like be asleep here anymore. Like, something's happening. And then maybe 6 months from now, all of a sudden you're going to have this breakthrough. I mean, I just got an email today from a friend who had a similar experience. It's been about 6 months for her almost, and she just had a breakthrough. And she was so encouraged because she was getting very discouraged, but there's been positive little things along the way. So not to get discouraged. And the thing is, I can say with complete confidence that Plexus works, but you do have to be consistent, and you do have to drink water. And those are the 2 major things that people aren't doing if it's not working. They're either like, well, I kind of forgot on Wednesday and Friday and Saturday, and then I forgot last week, and you're like, well.
Well, and it's often, numerous times this has happened where people within 2 or 3 months want to stop, and which our friends are more valuable, we still love them, but it just doesn't make sense that they want to stop it because the product isn't working, but they still have half of their product. It's like, well, how can you determine that it's not working when you're obviously not taking it because you still have 50% of your supply? So
Yeah,
it's like anything else. I mean, buying a gym membership, you buy a gym membership, you pay for a gym membership, and 2 months later, nothing happened. You can say the gym membership doesn't work. Well, yeah, if you don't go, it doesn't work. And a little equation of life that I've learned is that consistency over time equals success. So if you're doing the right things over time, you will be successful. And that's true with Plexus too. You have to take the products consistently, give it time, let it work, and you'll be impressed. I think what Amy was saying, the 3 to 6 months, as you share Plexus with people, that's a really valuable component to emphasize, because we don't want people to have unreasonable expectations that we're saying, oh, you're going to lose weight in the first week or the first month. That might not happen. They might gain weight. They might experience some negative reactions at first. I, along the way, have experienced some days when my body was cleansing of the literally toxic medicine that I've been taking. You could smell it in my skin and on my breath as my body was flushing it out. I had a few days where I was like seriously depressed. Those are the side effects of some of these prescription medicines that were coming out of me.
That he hadn't been on for a year.
Yeah.
And then, so that just shows how deep the memory of your cell, I don't know if that's legitimate terminology, but like I feel like they have a memory, and it is deep. Like, and your fat cells are basically one of the ingredients in the alpha lipoic acid is something that will pull out toxins from your fat cells. And so if that's pretty deep sometimes for some people, like, because it's not going to just be, it kind of is like a layer after layer after layer. Time. And when you finally get to this layer that's been kind of hanging out there for a year or two, you might feel yuck. And that's actually encouraging, because it means that something is trying to get out, and again, drinking water and really supporting your body, resting if you can, things like that is so helpful. Yeah. So something I read today was really interesting. Just for another reason to keep drinking your water is that glucose, which is blood sugar, cannot leave your body unless it's attached to a water molecule via urination. So if you kind of are just annoyed because you have to go to the bathroom all day, then the plan B your body takes is fat storage. So a great way to shed toxins and shed weight, if that's what you're trying to do as well, is to drink more water. And you kind of hear that, but that was really helpful for my mental, like picturing this glucose that's just excess, like it has nowhere to go. It's done its job. It doesn't have a job. And so he's like, I just need to get out of this body. Oh, she won't let me out. There's nothing to flush me out. I'm just going to go hide in this little happy fat cell. And so if you think of it like that, and then that just starts causing all kinds of problems. And so if that's in elevation. So I was going to go over like our daily routine. Do you want to have some else? Okay. So any questions, just shoot them out whenever. So no, there we go. So our daily routine is wake up in the morning, and this is slim, and this is a little pink drink, and you just empty this packet into a glass of water, drink it. I usually try and drink it like while I'm making my breakfast, because I need to eat breakfast right away, and it's best taken 30 minutes before you eat. So if that does not work with your schedules, because everybody is very different. Some people work nights, some people have different things. Another idea is to take it mid-morning, about maybe an hour before lunch or something like that. So that really helps with the afternoon crash. It helps stabilize your blood sugar. Like, that's the point of this, is that it is stabilizing your blood sugar. There are also anti-inflammatories in here. There is also detoxifying ingredients. It's basically herbs, and yeah.
I like to
pink because of beets.
Right. I like to do the pink drink, bio cleanse, and the X Factor. Pretty much, I wake up, stumble down to the kitchen, mix my pink drink, and drink it with these two.
Helps with your memory, so you're just like, all right, that's out of the way, it's done.
Exactly right. Now, if I'm in a really big rush in the morning, sometimes I'll put them all in my lunchbox and do it mid-morning. But usually if I do that, my days are very full. So it's easy for me just to skip it, and then all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock and I never did it. So for me, it's easiest just to get up. I love taking the X Factor with the Slim and the Bio Cleanse. The X Factor, Amy can tell you a little bit more about this, but we could say it's like powered with aloe, and the aloe and the X Factor is going to help your body absorb all the goodness of the Bio Cleanse and the Slim even better. So I feel like I'm getting the best of everything when I take the X Factor with it.
Yeah. And basically what BioCleanse is, it is super simple. And let me just quickly, this is all three that come in the triplex, is the Slim, the BioCleanse, and the ProBio 5. So these are the triplex. And you add on the X Factor, which would make it the Fab 4 is what we call it. And the BioCleanse acts as an oxygenator of your blood. It flushes toxins out, helps that process. And because the night before, you'll have taken this ProBio 5 right before bed. And so while you're sleeping, it's doing magic in your body. And it's not only just putting good probiotics in, which a lot of people do, and that's wonderful, but it also is taking out some harmful bacteria and fungus and nastiness that should not be there. We all should have a little fungus in our bodies. We're born with it so that we can decompose when we die. But that's it. And we unfortunately have eaten things or done things that make it so that we have way too much of this candida fungus going in our bodies. So there's things like brain fog, all kinds of other, things that will cause us to be really sick. So, sorry.
Amy's editing or adjusting volume things on the fly.
Sorry, I'm like,
I'm slightly distracted.
Okay, I'm good. Go ahead.
So, how about a little side note here? Amy posted something today on Instagram and Facebook about grumpy moms.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I don't remember the words.
The gist. What was the gist of what you said?
My daughter's sitting here, she's writing it down. Says, "What do you mean all mommies don't take Plexus? You're telling me they sit around and be grumpy all day? Don't the daddies just buy it for them? What about the children?"
So,
yeah.
That, obviously all moms don't sit around and are grumpy all day.
Yeah.
But there are many who do. And to validate the reality of that, not to demean anyone or make fun of anyone, but to truly see moms who are empowered and excited to wake up, excited to be a part of their kids' day, excited to take on a small business, excited to make an impact in other people's lives and their community. Those are the kind of moms like we want to encourage. We want to see them build up. And so go along with that post, 2 or 3 years ago, I was at work and I got a phone call from Amy, and it was a grumpy mom phone call. I don't remember what the issue was, but it was something about how the kids were ruining her life or something. I don't know. And so I had a conversation with her, and those are not well received at work, those phone calls, because there's nothing I can do except say, pray with you and deal with it. Anyway, I got off the phone, and a good friend of mine was there, a coworker, and I don't normally, I wouldn't divulge that conversation with my wife to just anyone, but I just needed to talk. So I looked at him and said, does your wife ever call you and complain about the kids or the day or something like that? And he just laughed. He said, you mean how many times a day does she call and do that? So there are a lot of people, moms included, husbands, fathers, who are just overwhelmed and struggling with a lot of different things. And I've seen in Amy, from something consistent like that phone call to now someone who's just embracing what's in front of her in a lot of different areas of her life. So, and I'm seeing that also in a lot of the other Plexus moms, and it's really, really impressive. So I think that's been a big encouragement for me, not just to hear not just to experience our story, but to see other families just changing dynamically.
Yeah.
Whereas when the mom is stable, it revolutionizes the home. So it's exciting. We're excited to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk more about the products?
I was just going to mention the X Factor real quick. The reason that I say you need to add this into your triplex and make that part of your everything, your daily routine, is that Matt had mentioned the aloe, and that's very important. It's an incredible ingredient. It is like a taxi driver that takes the nutrients to the right cells that need it the most. And it really is, most people, if you open your cupboard, and even if you're in your kitchen or wherever you keep your supplements right now, I would just get up and go look at them right now. If you take a vitamin of any kind, your kids' vitamins, your vitamins, and read the label.
Ingredients. Read the ingredients.
Read the ingredients, because it'll say like, oh, yay, it has this much, this much, this much, this much of whatever. And then if you get to the ingredients, I cannot tell you how many people's cupboards I've raided and observed. And just, because I'm a label reader, and I'm just curious, and sometimes I'll just be at the store too, and I do that. I do it at the store. So that's a little less intimidating maybe. Anyway.
If Amy's looking in your cupboards.
Hide your vitamins unless it's Plexus. No. So anyway, food coloring. I cannot tell you. Like most iron supplements out there have food coloring in there. Red, blue, the stuff that you should never put in your body. Like that was not meant, God did not design your body to be able to handle that.
My first question is, why are we putting food coloring in a vitamin?
Well, because it makes it look like, iron is red, and so they make it look red. I don't know why. It's just something with our brain, I'm sure.
So it has nothing to do with the benefits of the vitamin.
Ibuprofen. Check out ibuprofen. It usually has red or blue or both. Your kids' vitamins, I'm pretty sure there is some sort of artificial sweetener in there, which it's interesting. If you just do more research about that can cause, oh my goodness, so many things. Like if your kids have headaches and stuff, you could trace it back to that multivitamin that you're supposedly helping them get healthy. So just be so, so careful. I did not used to do this. I did not used to read my labels. I used to be like, oh, well, it's cheap, so I can afford this, so I'm going to just buy this and take it and feel like I'm doing the right thing. But I never felt like any better taking it. This is the first vitamin I've ever taken, and I'm alive for 36 years. The first one that I actually feel different, and my hair is actually growing, and my nails are like incredibly strong, and yeah. And so is Matt's. He's like, do I have to clip my nails again?
First time in my life I've had to clip my nails. I was always a nail biter, nail picker, and now they just grow so fast.
So read the labels, and if you are taking it, just throw them away. I had such a fun day going through my cupboard and reading stuff that I have had forever and throwing them away, and I don't need them, and I haven't missed them. So
okay, 10 minutes left. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to hear them. One thing that people have asked us a few times when we talk to them about Plexus is, do I have to change my diet? And My answer to that is, if you're asking me that, the answer is probably yes. Whether you take Plexus or not, you probably should change your diet. Now, our health journey, along with where we are with Plexus and everything, has been a progression of over a decade. So it's not like we went from buying Betty Crocker cake mixes to juicing kale and beets overnight.
And we did used to buy Betty
Yes.
Crocker cake mixes.
And eat a whole chocolate cake in one sitting, just the two of us.
Still a fun memory. But
It's a distant memory. It's interesting. It's really illogical to talk about a gut health supplement and talk about things that are promoting gut health while eating foods that are destroying gut health. So just as just educate yourself. Don't keep eating. And we enjoy life. I had chocolate chips right before we started this.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life chocolate chips. They're really good. So enjoy those things, but educate yourself as to how you can be building gut health and just wellness, not with just supplements, but with everything you eat affects gut health.
Yeah.
Everything you put in your mouth. So
it's either making you healthy or it's making you sick. So you have to figure out which one it is. And usually you already know. So don't quit because you think it's going to just be too hard. I have a couple people I know who have quit their soda addiction.
Yeah.
They literally thought they could never do it. But the mind is way more powerful than the body, and you can do anything you set your mind to. So if you say, I'm done, I'm not gonna drink anymore. Well, that's step one. Step two is just don't buy it and put it in your fridge. I mean, that's just cruel and unusual punishment for yourself. So, for me, it is so much harder for me to go grocery shopping if I'm hungry or whatever. You have to be just kind of smart about what you're gonna do. And so if you have the right tools in your toolbox, then
makes the job easier.
It does. It makes the job easier. So that's common sense right there. And and also another thing about Plexus though is that it can cause you to have less cravings. Like actually we were just somewhere and the kids, they were just saying they took a bite of something that probably a year ago they would have taken, and they just said, ew, gross. This does not taste good anymore, Mom.
Yeah.
I used to love this stuff. Ew, Plexus works. That's exactly what they said. And it was really cool. And that's happened a few times with them. And so it does change eventually, but this has been a year. So this is not overnight. And it's not like Matt said, we didn't just dump everything out of our cupboards overnight. Some people do that. And if you want to go for it, do that. But if that's going to be too hard for you, pick one thing. Just say, I'm not ever buying soda again. Never. Nope. Never. And just don't do it.
Right.
And then maybe a month later, you'd be like, you know what? I'm done with the white bread. I can't do white bread anymore. Maybe when I go out to a restaurant and they serve bread, sure, I will enjoy the appetizer white bread. That's fine. But I'm never buying it again. I'm going to try alternative, maybe sprouted grain. We use sprouted grain. We love sprouted grain stuff. It's really delicious.
It's like what your grandmother probably told you, eat your veggies. I mean, it's the most basic reality of uncomplicated healthy living. Like you need to eat living vegetables.
Yeah.
Fresh, raw vegetables.
Yeah.
Gotta have them.
Yeah. So just pick a couple things to challenge yourself with, and always keep telling I have to tell this real quick. We had a friend over last week or a couple weeks ago, and he's a PT, and he was telling us about something called a mirror box, where you have somebody with an injured hand and they put their injured hand in this box, and the good hand is mirrored. And so they do different exercises. And so what they see, so their bad hand is hiding, like they can't see their bad hand. It looks like their bad hand is moving because the good hand is mirroring
There's a mirror here.
Yeah, so it's mirroring what the bad hand should do. And the bad hand is doing nothing. And within a few weeks of doing these exercises every day, like clenching, pointing, turning, the bad hand starts to heal. And the brain does not know the difference between a lie and the truth. And so if you are just telling it, this is your bad hand, and look at how well it's moving, your brain's like, oh, my bad hand is moving. It's all better. It will start to heal. So these are the kinds of things that you can implement. And this is science. This is not like, it sounds crazy, but that's how cool our bodies are. And so if you tell yourself that you can do this, you can do it. Don't say, oh, I'm going to try and do this. But, Yoda was smart when he said, do or do not, there is no try. So, you got to stick with it and know that your body is capable of doing way more than you think it's capable of doing. So anything else?
Really, really good to exercise. Mm-hmm. So when you eat right, exercise, and take Plexus, that is a really good three-pronged approach to healthy living. Mm-hmm. So we love Plexus, but we really talk up eating right. Get out and sweat. Sweating is a natural detoxifying function of your body. It's mm-hmm. removing metabolic waste through your skin. Mm-hmm. And it's just so healthy for you physically, mm-hmm. mentally, emotionally. Whether it's just a walk around the block, people are so stressed out and they just need to take a break and go for a walk or go for a run or whatever.
Do 100 jumping jacks. Yeah. Do 100 squats. Do 50 squats. Do push-ups against the wall. Do push-ups on your knees. Do a bunch of things. Do something.
Your body is the most amazing machine on earth. Mm-hmm. Every machine that is man-made that you see is in some way replicating the systems of your body. That's how amazing our bodies are, and they're meant to be used. So. And
they're maintained. I mean, you don't not ever put oil in your car.
Right.
Like, why would you not do certain things for your body? And it's way more important. So you've got to do that. And we love encouraging people. So if you are doing this with us and you want to do a little bit more, like you are like, okay, I've got the Plexus thing down, but I need to work on the diet or I need to work on the exercise, let us know. Like we love challenging people, giving them homework, things like that. And
Amy's doing cooking videos now.
Yeah, so healthy.
Dessert.
Yeah, I did one. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, we have a lot of fun doing this, and we are excited to keep doing this. And yeah, I feel like there was one thing I was going to say, and I totally forget what it was.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Yeah. Enjoy your Plexus journey. Keep us posted. We love hearing your stories as well. Different things you're seeing and experiencing. Amy.
Oh, real quick.
Amy takes Plexus. She is 14 weeks pregnant.
Yeah, it has replaced any prenatal stuff, and my midwife's thumbs up. That's mine. If you're concerned, you can always ask. I just say, it's magnesium, which you need when you're pregnant, and I am not constipated. This is tons of amazing stuff. I also take the X Factor or Omega X, which is my omegas for your brain health, baby's brain health. And if you have a healthy flora in your gut, that's being passed on to your baby as the baby's growing. So it's incredibly important. So, we have like 30 seconds. So we're going to end.
God bless. Good night.
Yeah, write us if you have questions. See ya.